welcome back to my channel, TorAthena, where today I'm telling you another story time. I wasn't planning on filming this today, so I'm sorry if the story is a bit fragmented, but I was just telling another story time where I was someone's worst date. The link will be below if that was out before this one, probably is. I mentioned that I have a new worst date story because I've already filmed a worst date story ages ago. So I thought I should probably update you guys on my new worst date ever. So, as most people who know me know, I haven't really had a very serious relationship in my entire 20s. In fact, I have spent most of my 20s working hard and dating hard. So I have a lot of dating stories, but all of them, up until this year, were pretty good. I'd actually met really nice people, it just didn't work out, bad timing, whatever. They weren't really bad people, they weren't really nightmare stories, except for that one that I once told. But oh, this year has been fantastic for stories, not for my heart. This is kind of where it all began. It actually was the beginning of so much, it's insane. But this is my new worst date story. So I had been back on path for the umpteenth time for whatever reason, and I started talking to this guy. He seemed like a really nice guy. I'm gonna call him Jim because in his pictures he kind of looked like Jim from The Office, and I really liked that. So Jim was quite cute and he was incredibly kind. That's what I really noticed about him. He was so nice and giving, with not just compliments like in fueling my ego, but as in a supportive kind. And he was just so nice and patient, and I think it was actually me who was like, shall we swap mobile numbers? Because we'd spoke on there for quite a long time. And then I think it was even me who said, shall we go for a drink? It might not have been, but I think that's how I remember it. And we had been speaking for quite a lot, and I remember being excited about this. Ah, yes, because it was my first date after a year of practically just being single. I'd been flirting with men in between, but it was pretty much just single. And then Paris happened, and after that I just kind of went, no more. No more men, no nothing, no nothing, no, not ever. And so this was me giving everything a chance again, a chance at love, a chance at possibilities. I was trying to be optimistic. When will I learn? And so I dressed up for the date and I walked over to the pub we were meeting at, and I was very nervous. Before I go on a date, I pee about 10 times, I sweat, I'm just so nervous, it's horrible. Because I'm always so nervous, I'm never gonna recognize the person, and I always do. It's always that person. I've never been catfished to that extent. But when I walked into the pub this time, I almost didn't recognize him. He had such a case of the good angles with his photographs. It was uncanny. It was him, but it didn't look like him. It was weird. It was so weird. I was like, crap, okay, but that's what you have. That's the gamble you play when you online date. And I guess the older we get, we're probably gonna pick the more youthful looking pictures that we can get away with, maybe. Maybe that's what he did, I don't know. But he was a nice person, so I was like, okay, he's not unattractive, he just doesn't look how I expected him to look. He wasn't as attractive as I thought, but he was still a nice person. So we got a drink and we sat down and we were talking, and there was not one spark. Not one. And I was struggling, and the moment I start struggling, the moment I kind of just write everything off, and we were trying so hard to make conversation. There were actually moments of us just sitting there in silence. It was horrible. After about half an hour to an hour, things warmed up a little bit and we were finding things to talk about, but it wasn't great. It wasn't a great first date, and I knew there wouldn't be a second. But I was with him on this date. He was a nice guy. There was still a chance for redemption, in all fairness. And he was like, shall we go to the next pub? And I was like, in my head, something clicked and I went, yes. Yes, we will. We will get drunk and we will have a good night regardless, and maybe that can make a date. I've been with people that I didn't actually like when I first met them and ended up loving them. So I was like, this can work. At least he still wants to go for a drink. We'll go to a pub I like. We'll get get drunk, have fun, it'll be good. So we go to the next pub and we're sitting there having a drink and we are talking a little bit more now and things are starting to get more relaxed and more comfortable. And I go, I'm just gonna go to the toilet, I'll be right back. And I pop to the toilet and I come back and he's on Tinder. He is sitting there with his phone out on Tinder and he's like swiping and messaging on Tinder on a date. And that is the modern equivalent of me coming back and he's just chatting up the woman next to him. So in his head he's either gone, this date is going really well, I'm gonna chat that person up, or he's gone, this date isn't gonna go very well, I'm gonna chat that person up. Either way, it's not okay. You are on that date with that person. You should give them the respect. I don't know what was going through his head. Obviously, maybe he thought it wasn't going well, but I wasn't about to go on dating sites during our date. You know, it's just, it's respect. It's, what? And I came back and I saw it and I was really impressed with myself. I just didn't react and I just kind of went, ah, and carried on talking, but not a lot. I'd quickly just written this date off. And he went, I'm just gonna go to the toilet too. And I went, yeah, that's fine. And then when he went to the toilet, I just left. I didn't need to give my time to someone who was gonna be that disrespectful. And I messaged him and I said, I'm sorry for leaving like that, but I didn't think that was the right etiquette on a date. And he was like, oh, I understand, but I still think it was mean. And I think he knew, he absolutely should not have been on Tinder. But that was fine, and then we like didn't hate on each other, we were just like, good luck and all that, and that was it. And I've never spoken to him again, and that's fine. The thing that kind of annoyed me the most is how on Facebook, some people tried to defend him. No. If you are on a date, do not go on a dating website. If you're on a date, do not chat up another person on your date. Even if it's a bad date, don't do it. Disrespectful. I went back to the flat, I got blind drunk, and started talking to this girl who I'd just been kind of starting to talk to. I'd known her for like 2 years, but I only just started talking to her. Found out she was bisexual, flirted horrendously with her, arranged a date with her, like really over sexually flirting with her, woke up in the morning hungover and so ashamed that I just assumed just because she was bisexual she would fancy me. And I was like, oh no, I've done the thing. Turns out she did fancy me and we ended up going on a date and she became my girlfriend. And that was awesome, and that was actually a really nice thing. We're not together anymore, but that it was a nice thing and it was a lovely thing and it was worth going on that bad date to have that nice relationship that I had. So there we go. That was my life. That's the new updated worst first date ever. Thank you so much for watching. Subscribe if you haven't already, because I tell embarrassing stories a lot, and comic geeky stuff and embarrassment. And like this video because it really does help out the channel. And I'll see you soon. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.